everyone, Linda here again with you from Gunnut Lane Jewellery. Today I've got a pair of earrings that we're going to be doing. So I'll give you a look at those first. These are the ones that I've made and that the video is all about. I've just patinaed them. I haven't cleaned them properly or polished them or anything yet. So that's that pair. I just want to show you them in a couple of different colours that I've been making over the last couple of days, just so you can get an idea of what you can do. So that's a peridot pair there, and then we have aquamarine, that pair there. And then also want to show you that you can do them in, these are all done in chip beads, that you can use small round beads as well. That's that pair there. These are the ruby zoisite, little 3mm faceted beads there. I think they look quite pretty with the round beads in them. And these are I was working on these ones, just a little simple pair for a friend of mine, and this is what inspired the idea for these. So I was wrapping these. These are how do you say it? Rhodochrosite or something like that. So she just wanted a little simple pair with just, you know, a few little beads in it. So I was working on that and I came up with the idea for those ones. But as I said, these haven't been cleaned or polished or anything like that yet. But I just wanted to give you an idea of what you can do, especially using up some of your chip beads. So I'm just going to grab everything together and then we'll get started on this video. All right, see you all soon. Okay, I'm back with you. So I've got my 18 gauge wire here, and I've also got my oval shaped beadsmith mandrel. If you don't have one of these, just try and find something oval shaped, or you could also make this in a round shape as well. Totally up to you what you do. So I'm going to come down to the 8th run. So 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, this one here, and I'm just going to put my wire on there and wrap that around. Just like that. Okay, I'm going to get my flat nose pliers, and I've left a little bit too much of a tail here, so just judge that for yourself. I'm just going to bend that straight up like that, and then grab my cutters, and I'm just going to cut off, cut off a small amount here. So I've bent that up straight. Hopefully I got that on camera. Okay, so I'm taking that off the mandrel now and put the mandrel away. And I forgot what I was going to say. I was going to say something then. Okay, that's what I was going to say. I suggest that you make both of these earrings at the same time, especially with the next stage coming up. I just found it so much easier, and they come out more like sisters than cousins if you do them together. So I'm just bending that wire over. Just going to grab my cutters again and take a little bit more of that off. And I'm going to bend that wire in, just so it hugs the other tail of the wire there, and make sure that's all nice and neat. And I'm going to grab my hammer and block. Actually, what I normally do is I hammer this first before I turn that. But because I'm on camera, I'm doing everything differently as usual. Okay, so I would have hammered this first before I turned that end over. I don't know why I did it that way. I just did. Okay, if you're using coated wire, don't use a metal hammer, use your rubber hammer to do this, because you'll take the coating off and it'll tarnish very, very quickly. Okay. So I've got that going. Now I'm going to grab my, move that out of the way, grab my 24 gauge wire, and I'm going to cut off about, I think it was 45 centimeters. Just let me have a look here at my measurement. Oh, tape measure. I just dipped it in my quenching water there. Let me see, 45. Yeah, 45 centimeters, which is 18 inches. So I'm just going to guesstimate this, but that's what I normally cut off. I measured it yesterday when I was making another pair of these. So I'm just going to cut my wire off here. Okay, and I'm just going to bring those two ends together and just pull the wire down. You don't have to bend it or anything like crimp it or anything like that. Just so that you roughly know where the center is, just like that. Okay, now I've got quite a few beads out here, but I've got those out, that many out, because I'm going to pick through them to find the ones that are the right size. So I'm just going to pick up 3 of those to start with, and that doesn't matter what size those 3 are. If I can pick them up. 2. It's trying to look underneath the camera and find the hole on these at the same time. Oh goodness, come on. There we go, 3. So I'm bringing those down to just sit in that little bend there like that. And then I'm going to bring up both sides and cross them over each other and bring them down. And you want to try and get it as even as you can, so that the wires are crossing sort of in the center of this part here. Okay, now I'm going to grab those. This is probably a little bit hard to do on camera, and give them a twist. Just like that. And I wanted them down a little bit closer to my beads than that. So I'm just going to undo that. I don't want them wobbling around. I might have to do this off camera, so just hold on a sec and I'll just twist this off camera. So I'm doing exactly what I showed you a second ago, but I'm just going to go off camera and get these down a little bit tighter. Okay, I'm not turning the camera off, I'm just moving off camera. All right, let me get out here and twist. Okay, I got a better twist that time. Not a great one, but a better one. Okay, now I'm going to pick up 2 more beads on this side and bring them down to the other beads, and 2 more beads on the other side. And bring those down. Okay, that's what it roughly should be looking like. I would like this down here a little bit tighter, but I needed more room than what I've got here. Okay, so I'm going to bring those up now to the frame. And I'm sitting that so that this little bundle is sitting just below the frame there, and the other 2 are sitting on top of the frame. If you can see that. I'm taking this wire here, I'm bringing it through the center, and I'm keeping it down low to the bead. So I'm pushing it down and bringing that wire around like that. And I'm doing the same thing on the other side. And remember, as I said, you're doing this both earrings at the same time. So you'd get them both to this stage here before you continued on with doing the other one. Bringing that down nice and close and in and around behind like that. And trying to keep it as well that you're, give that a bit of a push, that you're keeping your little cluster of 3 here center with your wire up here. So just trying to remember to push them back if they move around each time. Okay, so I'm going to come back now through on this side. I'm just going to work on one side for a moment. So I've got that wrapped in nice and tight now. Now I'm going to pick up. Now this is up to you. I've done this earring with, I'm just picking up 1 and wrapping it around, or I've done it with 2 and I've done it with 3. So it just depends on you. I've picked up 2 this time. And I'm just going to come up that wire there like that with those 2 beads on it. And wrapping that through again. Now, and also too, it's up to you how far up the earring you want to go with this. So I'm coming through a second time now with that wire, pulling it nice and tight. Now I could stop there if I wanted to, or I could add in another 1 bead or another 2 beads, whatever, depending on how high up you want to come up your earring. I think I'm just going to check against this one here and see how far up. So this is what I mean about doing them at the same time. I would know if I was doing them at the same time what I was, you know, trying to achieve. So I've come up higher on that one, so I'll add in a couple more beads. And just checking, I'm just going to check back with my already made earring as I'm going along. But if you are making them at the same time, you don't need to check, because you'll know exactly where you are. Okay, so I've got 2 more on there. I'm going to bring that wire through again. And it's just also to maneuvering your beads, because they're chip beads and they've got different angles on them. So you need to just, there we go. And then come through that wire again. And bring it down. And if you can't get it down, just grab, I'll just use my trusty bent nose pliers here. And just bring that wire down. Trying to get that in as tight as you can, the wire as tight as you can. Okay, just checking against this one again. And that looks about right to me. Okay, so now I'm going to bring this wire through here again. I'm going to pick up a couple more beads. Last video for the year, and it's given me grief already. Okay, now I'm just going to see where they sit. And they're sitting nicely there. So then you just pick a place to come through with your wire. So I can fit between these 2 beads here. So I'm going to bring that around through there, poke my wire back up. Seeing where that sits, grabbing a couple more beads. popping them into place, seeing where they sit nicely. Give them a little push if you need to, and then come around again. Popping that wire through. Now I just want to compare it with my other one. Yep, that's looking fine to me so far. Picking up a couple more beads. And they're going to sit in there nicely. I'm going to pop those there, hold them with my finger, and I can come around anywhere I want. I'm going to come around that little group of 3 down the bottom, and then I'm just going to leave that, and I've wrapped that around, and I'm just going to leave that wire there now, and I'm going to work on this side. So I'm going to pick up 2 beads. Oh, goodness. Okay. Come on, beads. Bring those 2 down. And I'm going to wrap around that one. It's a little bit harder on this side because it's like, this is like working like left-handed type, if you know what I mean. Okay, bring that run around one more time. I'm going to pick up 2 more beads. Oops, nearly had him. Slippery little suckers sometimes. Come on. Cooperate, guys. Behave yourself. Okay, I've got 2 there. There it is. Now this time I can judge by looking at this side how far I need, like, that's right, exactly right there. Because you've also got to remember that your beads are, you know, all different sizes, so you might need to add, say, an extra 1 or something if it didn't come up equal to the other side. So I've come through that twice, and now I'm going to work my way back down. I'm going to pick up 2. And bring those down the side. Find a place where I can fit this in. Take my wire through. Get that in as tight as you can. You don't want any sort of big loops of wire. You can give it a little tug with your pliers just to make sure it's nice and tight. Pick up another 2. Let's get that wire out of the way and bring those down. Seeing where they fit in nice and snugly. Bringing that wire through. Oops, get around there. Just try and hold your beads in place It's a little bit hard to do here on camera, but I'm going to do my best and find a little place. God, I'd love to bring this up to my face right now. Find a little place where you can fit that wire through between the beads, because you don't want to pull hard and crack a bead. Okay, there, I think I've got that now. And I'll come back up again. Oh, it's not very tight still. Yeah, that's better. Okay, that's nice and tight. Couple more beads. Now I just want to see where I want to tuck this in. All right, I'm going to go through that center part there of the lower 3 beads that we put on first. I'm just going to grab my pliers and just maneuver that wire up. Oop, got the wrong one. I'm trying to make sure I'm getting it around a bead. I don't want to pull it over the top and maybe crack the bead. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to look at that and check it against my other one. And they look pretty even there to me. Now I'm going to fill it up a little bit on top over here. So I'm just going to bring this, this is the original wire that we were working with. So I'm going to pick up, I'm just going to try 1 bead to start with. And this is where you just pop a bead on, look, and see for yourself. Okay, one's all right there. So I'm just going to go through with my wire now. Find somewhere to, excuse me. Oh. Find somewhere to tuck it through. Bring it back up again in between some beads. Pick up another bead. This is not a hard design to do by any means. It's just a little bit finicky, I guess, is the word I'd probably use for it. You've just got to stop and think and see where you can go. So I'm going to go through that loop there again. Find a place between a bead. Yeah, popped it in there. And I just want to see how full I've got this one. Yeah, maybe one more on top. And I'm just going to choose a smaller one now. So this is where you sort of really pick through your beads. There we go. Yeah, that looks good. So I'm going to pop that wire through there. And I can finish this off here now. So I'm just going to wind this around the top. Yeah. I was just having thoughts of going back with the wire and adding some more wire to it, but I won't. So I've gone around twice. I'll go around one more time just to make sure. Okay, over to the back. I'm going to cut that wire off as close to the frame as I can, and then using my pliers, I'm going to mush that down so it's nice and smooth and you can't feel it. Then we come back to the other side and we're going to do the same thing on this side, just filling in gaps as we go along. And something like this little wire up here, I'm going to pull him over to the back. If I can get hold of it, there we go. And smush him in a bit. Yeah, that looks better. Okay, so I'm going to pick up a couple of beads on this side, or one bead to start with. Let's see, put one on. See where it sits. Actually, I should have gone back with the wires. See, I don't want these beads here loose, and they are loose. I didn't notice that. I'm going to pop 2 beads on this one. So this actual design makes it a hard one just to say, oh, you know, pop 2 beads here, 1 bead there, whatever. It's a matter of looking and seeing what looks nice and judging for yourself as to how many beads, and also to the size of your beads as well. So you keep that in mind when you're doing this. I'm going to wrap that over. Okay, now I'm going to pop a bead on top. Got to come over to the side of my camera here so I can see the hole. There we go. Okay, he looks good there. Going through the center again. Coming around, and I'm taking the wire around and coming upwards this time because I'm going to fill in another gap. Okay, that looks good to me. Oh gosh, I'm sorry guys if I was off camera then. So get him back up where I wanted him, and I'm going to bring this wire around. I should have left myself a little bit more wire on this one, because now I really want to wrap all the way around and come back again. Okay, so I'm just going to come through. Now what you need to do here is imagine that I have more wire than what I've actually got here, because I don't think I'm going to make it, but I may do. I also want to push those beads up there. Just be gentle with them, but you can push them. I want to try and get over to this other side here and tighten these beads up. Oh, I might have enough. I might just make it. Okay, they're all nice and tight. If I pull a little bit harder, I might get a little bit more wire. Just don't want to pull too hard and break beads. Okay, I might just make it back over to the other side. I don't want to just, I mean, you don't want to come straight over like that, obviously. So I have to try and find my way through with using the least amount of wire. So I'm going to come up through this gap here. And come back through again. around. Oh, am I going to make it? I'm going to have to use my pliers to do this. Oh, I might just make a couple of wraps there. Look at that. Well, so if I just had a few more centimeters or an inch or two of wire, so make sure you cut yourself off enough wire. I said 18 inches or 45 centimeters, maybe go 20 inches just to be safe. All right, look, just that tiny little tail on the back. Give that a snip. Push that down. Making sure you can't feel it. Okay, so just get those out of the way. Now, they look very similar. One's a little bit fuller than the other, but that's also too depends on beads. So that's why I said try and pick your smallest ones. You can smush it down a little bit. I want to bring this side down. Okay, that'll pretty even. Now with the little bits of wire, what I've been doing, and you can see it on this one here a little bit, doesn't have as much wire through it, is I just give them a little twist because they just look like little random bits of wire, and I want them to be part of the design. So I'm just going to give all of these a little twist, which just adds a bit more interest. I can get in there to that one. And that one there, just giving them a little twist. And it's also helping tighten up any loose parts that you might have by tightening the wire. And that side's up a little bit higher, so I want to pull that down. Oops, try not to slip. Okay, and then you can do the same thing on the back, just to add a little bit of interest to the back. And again, tightening wires up so that your beads are tighter if they're a little bit loose. I see that one's very loose up there. That's better now. Okay. As I said, they look more like sisters. Than twins. That one's still a bit loose there. Oh, when I just broke that bead. Oh, I'll have to undo that and fix that up. Okay, not to worry. These things happen. And of course it had to happen on camera. So now we're just going to finish off this top part here. I'm just going to bend that back and get my cutters and cut that longer bit off and get my round nose pliers, grabbing the end of that, twisting him back, checking it. I want to pull that back a little bit more and round that down. What I want it to look like is actually like it's part, you know, there's no beginning or end to the wire, that it's just all there. So that's what I want it to look like. Okay, then adding an ear wire, which I already have made here. And that's that. That's our, get that broken bit of bead out of the way. That's our pair of earrings. I think they're beautiful. I'd be happy if someone gave them to me as a gift. I'm not happy there, of course, because that's where the bead broke and it's exposing more of the wire. But as I said, I'll unwrap that and add another bead to it and then just wrap it back up again. Yeah, so that's it for me for the year. I can't believe how quickly this year's gone by. I just want to thank everybody for all your support during 2023, and I hope everybody has a lovely Christmas, a very Merry Christmas, and will I be doing one for the New Year? I'll be back after the New Year, so the New Year's Day is on the Monday, so I'll be doing one on the Wednesday for you, the following Wednesday. I'll just take that little bit of a break off in between. And thank you to everybody who's been using the super thanks. I appreciate it so much. I think I'm up to about $11 or $12 now, so it's heading up, not down. That's great. And I've still got a way to go to get enough money to get the set of tools that I'm just looking so forward to getting. I just I've never had a beautiful set of tools, and I'd really love them, and I just could never, not that I couldn't justify the expense, I just never had the money, actually, when I think about it. And you know, to sit and make stuff is probably more important to me than buying tools, if that makes sense. I don't know how to explain it any better than that. Okay guys, well that's it for me. I know there was something else I wanted to say, but I can't think of it now. That always happens to me every single video pretty much. I just can't believe this is the last one for the year. It just feels so strange. Anyway, everybody, have a good one. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and I'll see you in the new year. Bye, everybody. Love you.